personal brand is something that kind of we do have to look at. You know, I think that personal branding is an interesting area because fundamentally a brand should not be beholden to an individual personality. You know, there are the individuals, the Elon Musks, who can smoke marijuana on, you know, a radio chat show, the Jeff Bezoses that can, you know, march around and feel like a bit of an authoritarian figure, or any of the kind of the giants, the giant CEO players, be it Jack Ma or otherwise. You know, there are those personalities, but they're quite few. And ultimately, from a brand perspective, when we want to be thinking about this organization and how it can be successful, not just in 5 years' time or in 10 years' time, but 20, 30, 40 years, you know, in many cases, CEOs come and go. And that means that the brand needs to be able to remain consistent, remain compelling beyond just a CEO personality who might be very good in the short term, but ultimately that organization needs to be able to thrive and grow beyond that individual. That individual might have left the organization, and there are examples where companies have fallen down because they have tied the organization so closely to that personality that beyond the personality, there's nothing really there within the business. And that can be a very dangerous position for any organization to find itself. If it's overly dependent on that personality in terms of driving engagement, awareness, well, then that can be hugely beneficial in the short term. But when a brand is supposed to live and evolve and grow over years and decades, well, then it cannot be tied down to a single personality. And therefore, I would always be wary of, you know, looking too much at the personality of the leader for what that tells you about the organization, because ultimately there should be alignment. But if that is a very distinct personality to what the brand has been built on, well, then that can cause tremendous amounts of problems. And that's where we see many rich heritage brands lose their sense of purpose or lose their sense of direction as they get thrown from place to place, from various CEO to various CEO, having their own vision for what it should be and not really respecting the fundamentals of this is what this organization was built on, this is its foundation, and that's what needs to be nurtured and protected.